got to save these dogs. I know you need these dogs. You'll wanna love these dogs. Now just come and see these dogs. And once you pet these dogs, so come down to the Comedy Kennel now, with John Wilkins on the Comedy Kennel. Oh, Matt Wayman on the Comedy Kennel now. We're sharing laughs and saving lives at the kennel now. We have got to save these dogs. I know you'll love these dogs. Just come and meet these dogs. Now you'll learn to love these dogs. Look in the eyes of these dogs. These dogs will look right back now, and you will love the dogs. I know it's true, and so come down to the Comedy Kennel now, with John Wilkins at the Comedy Kennel. Oh, Matt Wayman at the Comedy Kennel. We're having laughs, we're saving lives at the Comedy Kennel. Oh.
And we're back. Comedy Kennel. I just kind of came in with it. I took the intro this time. I hope that's okay. Usually you take it.
I liked it.
I just came out. I felt hot today.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Good. Out of nowhere. Also, we are actually joined by our third host this week.
Yes.
The lovely Jennifer Applehans.
Hello.
Welcome. The trifecta is now complete.
Yes.
We're all joining hands right now. We all buddy stretched before. It's been a real nice day. We've made a day out of it.
Yeah, it is nice. It's a regular Denver day. It snowed this morning, and it's April.
Now it's sunny, so we had a picnic, a little snowy picnic.
Yeah.
We made a muddy snowman because it was very wet snow out there, which is how we're living our lives, guys.
Yeah, the dogs enjoyed it. They did. They did. They peed on the snowman, so it was yellow and brown. It was gross.
It was a little gross, but it kind of added to the flavor. You know, I'm a Saints fan, so, yellow and black, gold and black, those are my colors.
That's how it goes.
So
we should talk to our third host, because she hasn't been on the show yet.
Yeah, what are your credentials? Yeah. Break it down for us.
Break it down.
On? What are you all about?
How'd you get involved?
What's your stuff?
What happened?
How do you guys know each other?
Well, there was a girl at work who said you should go volunteer for the Colorado Great Pyrenees Rescue because it's really fun and the dogs are really beautiful. So I went down to the park, nice sunny day, volunteered, hung out. They were, I didn't know what they were, but they were 150-pound, white polar bear-looking dogs.
People said they were dogs. They told me they were dogs right shortly after. Those are animals.
I had no idea,
Why is the zoo behind this?
Why are there aliens in the park is what I was wondering at first.
So I just started going to adoption events, and here I am 5 years later. I've been working in a
second-floor apartment in Capitol Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You did it.
Right,
You did it.
I made it big.
More dogs have walked by this apartment.
Low-income housing in Capitol Hill.
It's wonderful here. It is.
Nobody said dog rescue'd be easy.
Great Pyrenees. Sure. People don't, I think they don't realize, what's that dog do? What's its thing?
It is a livestock guardian.
I was going to go with carry whiskey around its neck and pull small children out of snow by their collars.
Yeah.
I might go. I'm sorry if I'm stereotyping that dog too much.
I don't know. It does. It looks exactly like a polar bear. Really. They seem dangerous, but they're not. They're gentle things.
They're big things.
They call them gentle giants for a reason. They're very sweet dogs. Couple things people don't know about them: they will not kiss you. They will not lick you.
That's good. Doesn't like relationships.
It won't lick anything it won't eat. Is that...
Funny, come here. Funny, come here. Winnie, no. Want to do a warning shot to get the booster away?
Working for him.
How many pounds does that thing eat a day? How many pounds of food that thing take down?
You know, people think that they would eat a lot because they're bigger, but no more than, you know, your average size lab.
Wow.
Really?
So, yeah, they don't eat as much as they look like they eat.
Yeah.
I guess.
Because you just think, I'm thinking 8 to 10 pounds.
Because they're lazy.
Oh.
They're not active dogs. So, you
Don't
know, a
have a
small
lot of
cattle
hobbies.
dog could probably eat as much as a Great Pyrenees because it's running all day.
Yeah.
Could they do something to make them more active, or they don't want to?
It's just not, they're just not into
not
it.
They're
more
just
of a-
not into it.
like reading books. They like, you know, chatting over tea and stuff like that, talking about the trades, but not physical activity. They're more of a higher class dog.
Are
They got away from the work.
Where are they from?
I had a Great Pyrenees who's 120 pounds, one of my favorite foster dogs, and the entire house smelled like poop. We spent about 40 minutes looking for the said poop and ended up finding it in the cat box. So this 120-pound dog found a way to poop in the cat box, and it took up the entire box.
Oh, goodness.
That's disgusting.
Don't know where that came
I
from.
like how you've been in the game for 5 years and you still call it poop. Like, you don't use, like, a term that, like, churches it up or anything. It's poop. It is poop.
The cat wasn't too happy about that.
That's hilarious.
There's a Pyrenean Mastiff, apparently. Not to be confused with. That's what they're saying here. So I don't know why they would tell you not to confuse it with another dog when you're trying to find out about that dog.
I think the main thing that people need to know with breed identification in general is just that, like, you know, people are mixing a lot of different breeds, and every dog is an individual. Mm-hmm. So just because one Pyrenees is nocturnal and poops in a box doesn't mean that they all are.
John Bell, he pooped in a box. That was his thing.
I mean, is that courteous at that point? Because he did make sure that it was going to the box. Maybe he saw the cat and was like, you know, I'm going to do them a favor, but just didn't realize the capacity on the litter box, which I haven't.
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy. He's a nice
Because I think
dog.
we've all been there. We've all woken up in the morning and just seen what we did to that litter box and just felt bad about it. But, I mean, we don't really talk about it until we get a podcast. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. I mean, you got to have an outlet for.
You got to.
Yeah.
For whiskey drunk. Yeah. You absolutely should.
So,
I don't even have a cat anymore. I still have a litter box. Litter box. What does that say about me? I don't know yet.
I'm not sure. I know a
Therapist
guy
has no clue either.
I know a guy that trained his iguana to poop in a cat litter box.
I didn't even know iguanas pooped. I thought they just recycled. I thought they were running at 100% efficiency all the time.
I don't know. That seems crazy. Like, he's pooping in a litter box. Like, why wouldn't they make an iguana box? If that's something that the iguana does. Like, why does he have to use the cat thing?
Yeah.
Like, an iguana would eat a cat, I'd imagine.
I guess it's for, like, those dudes that, like, actually carry their iguanas out with him. Like the 55-year-old man with long hair that just always brings his iguana out to the bar to pick up ladies.
He's got Jimmy Buffett just blaring out of his
every town has one. Hawaiian tee.
Hawaiian shirt. Yeah.
Buffett. Exactly. Yeah. He retired early, so it's always 5 o'clock for him.
Straw hat. Something.
Right.
Like, Jen, do you want to answer any questions you haven't answered? Like, do you want to make a question up for yourself and answer it?
Oh, I mean, I got questions for days. I can just. Do you like? Are you a big dog girl, or do you like small dogs, or do you love them all the same?
I love them all the same. I do not like hounds that much.
Too much energy.
I think that hounds are boisterous and annoying.
Oh, they're wonderful. They're great. They're the
But
best
if you
dog
have
in the
some
world.
land, I guess some hounds are good if they can run around. But locked up in a box, they're probably not the best.
Their ears are really long, so they dip into the water that they're drinking, and then they dip into the ground that they're smelling, and their ears smell worse than anything you could ever possibly imagine all the time.
Wow.
My dog had an ear infection once, and it was terrible. It was after cancer treatment, so I mean, like, we gave her a break. And she's
You get mad at your dog? If not, if they get an ear infection, you get pissed at them? You're like, hey, come on. Really? It's the second time this month we've talked about this.
That's the thing. Stop
no
dipping
more
your ears.
Quit swimming so much.
Tie your ears back. Tie them back. I don't know. Like, trivia question. You want to talk about the trivia question?
Let's go right into it.
Let's go into that.
Okay.
We actually had nobody, like...
A lot of people hated that question. I thought it was kind of a gimme.
I thought it was too. I don't know. The question was, and Matt, would you like to recap it, or like?
I think you got it. I think we kick it to you this time. I opened it, you close it. You know what I mean?
If I can remember the exact wording, but it was like, what is the breed of dog in the movie co-starring pre-diabetic Tom Hanks?
There we go. Got it.
Pre-diabetic
Saved
Tom Hanks.
that.
And what was his breed? It was the dog did.
It was
Bardieu.
Turner and Hooch. Yeah.
Turner and Hooch. Dog did Bardieu.
Look at him. Look at him. John has been doing a lot of foreign language classes lately. They've been paying off.
Bardieu. Bordeaux?
I just signed up to save dogs. I didn't sign up to travel the world.
Exactly. I will never go to France for a dog. Like, why would I do that?
That is a promise. You heard it here first. France. Take that, France.
They'll shave their dogs, but they won't shave their armpits. I don't know what's going on.
I like that right there.
Yeah.
Put that in your bed. I'm taking that. That's mine now. You heard it first, France.
So we're gonna put something on the screen. Like, Matt actually alerted me to this. He does some research on his own for adorable puppies.
Stumbling upon.
Not just
they're
me
coming into my life.
Up late at night looking at adorable puppies on the internet. That's not creepy, but yeah. Apparently, there's something called what is this? It's Panda.
Oh yeah, Bored Panda.
Bored Panda.
Yeah, it's just like these people had a baby. They had a child together, I assume. If not, they're just really good parents together to be able to raise that. Yeah, co-parenting. It's important. Yeah. We support the dogs as much as we support co-parenting.
Co-parenting, yes.
They had a child.
And baby adoption.
And they got a puppy at the same time they had a child. And these two little wackos decided to start napping together every day. So they're just being the cutest things in the world. And if you look at this, and if you don't feel feelings, then you are a sociopath. Because it's so heartwarming. It's just, I don't know. I didn't know I was alive on the inside emotionally until I saw this. So
what's with the pandas? Like, they've got a fair amount of pandas. Like, here's a panda here.
People are into pandas these days. That people need to fight for the pandas as well. So if there's any other panda podcasts out there that want to hit us up and maybe we do a little co-promotion.
Exactly.
Pandas are hurting too. It's not just the dogs. There's a lot of animals. I've tried. You cannot. No, you can't. I've already tried. I've looked into it. The permits alone through the city. The city is ridiculous with wild animal permits. So
I'd imagine the zoo would fight you on that. I'd imagine.
Yeah, Highlands Ranch, you can get a panda. Yeah, Highlands Ranch. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that.
Live in Highlands Ranch.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's hills.
That's why I don't go out there.
It's over the hills.
Dragons.
Far away. So there's another fact. We'll get Jen talking here again because this is interesting. We got a dog. We're putting it up on the screen here. Her name is Jilly.
Cue dog. Jilly.
Like, we got a video of it playing. Let's look at Jilly playing real quick.
3, 2, and go.
Jilly's a playful pup.
She was getting it. She was getting it there. That's my favorite part of that one. I'll tell you what the middle was.
Yeah,
the middle was my favorite part.
Yeah, the middle. Like the fact that it had an end was made it actually
the beginning,
a short story.
Fantastic. Middle, loved it. End.
And
probably would have changed it, but loved it.
Like the end, like of her getting adopted.
I would have done a star fade out, as always. I feel like that's the best way to go.
Yeah, but as the expert over here with like trying to figure out dogs, getting them adopted, doing like what she can for the rescues. Jilly was brought in as a pit bull.
Ooh.
She had, like 9 puppies.
A lot of people are scared out there probably right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like people are like, oh my God, should I turn this down?
Punch word these days.
Oh my God.
Punch phrase.
Pit bull. I got a thing with pit bulls. Like what? Like if you go to a farm and there's chickens there, you're like, oh, like over there, that's the cockfighters. You know, like it's like they're either do it or don't. It's a dog. Like
I think Bill Burr pretty much picked this one apart. I've tried a couple times, but it's just I say the pit bull thing's done.
Yeah, it's done. But anyway,
pit bull joke's too hard.
Here's the thing: Jilly is not a pit bull. She's not, and that was a chicken joke, by the way. But Jilly's she apparently we'll let Jen talk about it because she met with the Denver shelter, and this is an interesting story.
Yeah.
Well. I got an email request from a couple of friends in Texas saying that they had this boxer mom and 9 puppies that needed rescued, and boxer is my favorite breed, so I said, well, of course, I'll take them.
This dog was definitely
good-looking dogs.
So they get into foster care in Texas. They spend all of about 3 weeks there, and they send me pictures, and I was like, well, that is definitely most likely probably a pit bull. Mm-hmm. And but that's okay. They got sent out here. I guess 7 of the 9 babies got adopted right away the same day that they came. People were going crazy for them. There was a blue one, had a white stripe, blue eyes. Nice. Pretty rare-looking puppies.
It was a frenzy.
Pretty cute.
It was a terrible frenzy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So anyway...
People were fighting over the pit bulls. That's what was crazy. Yeah. That was
you did
nuts.
it. Yeah.
It was there.
You did it. You did it. It's been done again.
They were fighting over the pit bulls. It's true. It's true. You have to diffuse a lot of situations at adoption events because people will fight over the same dog that they want.
I mean, it's like with anything like you see a cute dog and you see somebody else wants it, and you really want that dog. It's just anything, supply and demand.
Exactly.
Right. So anyway, Tina is 8 months pregnant, and she's fostering Jilly, and she's walking around all over the dog park, and there was a lady there with her child. As soon as she saw Jilly, she picked the child up right away and held it, hugged onto it, like she was protecting her child from the pit bull.
Like if we're going to go, we're going together. Yeah.
Right,
like,
right.
Yeah.
And Jilly's like the sweetest, goofiest dog ever. So anyway, I was like,
her jaw doesn't even work. She couldn't eat anything. Like her jaw's sideways.
She can eat food. Let's be real. She can eat food, but not anything above a crow. Nothing bigger than crow. That's fair.
Yeah.
I measured.
She does this thing when she opens her mouth every single time. Like when she opens her mouth, when she closes it, like unless she takes the time to remember to put her tongue back in her mouth, it's just sticking out. It's funny.
I need to meet this dog. I feel like we get along great. I feel like we're the same person.
Yeah.
So I just figured, I thought to myself, enough is enough. We're going to take Jilly into the Denver shelter, get her a breed assessment to see if she could legally live in Denver, and to see if these people's fears are justified. And
most people's fears are not justified, by the way.
Spiders?
Like, never,
Not that they would be anyway.
Bombs?
There's no reason to fear a pit bull.
Irrational fear. Irrational fears.
So we take Jilly in, and sure enough, she is classified as a Shar-Pei mix and can live in Denver.
Mix.
So that opens a lot of doors for Jilly.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Good for Jilly.
Yeah.
Plus, good for the door opening is it seems like the attitudes have started to change a little bit, even in the institutions, like trying to make sure that like the dogs that they know are good dogs are going to good homes regardless of where it is.
I think that the Denver shelter as a whole really wants BSL to go away. I know that they have a bad rap, and people outside of Denver or outside of Colorado think that they're a terrible entity, but they're not.
And for people, for people that don't know out there.
Yeah, like everybody knows. Maybe they don't know what BSL is.
BSL is breed-specific legislation, so that means pit bulls are not allowed within the city limits of Denver.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. I mean, they're not allowed in Aurora either, but I think they're
Well, I
voting
mean,
on
you
it.
still see them. I mean, you still see them all
People
over.
don't obey laws. We know that. Like,
Yeah.
let's just go ahead and ban guns because no one's gonna own a gun, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Some
we've all
people
heard
don't.
that argument.
I heard there were people smoking weed before it was legal.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
really?
what I heard. I
Oh, my
did.
God. Yeah.
I heard about people doing
Like, I
that.
heard people whispering, but I didn't know they were talking about weed, and then when they came back, they smelled funny.
I was like, I thought this was a country where we obeyed rules, and you guys broke them. So
I don't know. Speaking of that, I haven't caught anybody else on the Denver hit and run that I talked about last time. Like, that just happened that one time. So I need to hang out here more often.
that's
Like,
pretty much it goes down. Pretty
some of
much
the
on
comics,
Capitol.
like some of the comics, I see it, but they don't really run. They just stay.
They stay, watch, and try to get material.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's terrifying.
So we're talking about the dog, and it's like a Shar-Pei, and apparently they have blue Shar-Peis. We found a picture of one of those.
Yeah.
Her
So-
coat is actually considered seal.
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 Like the guy
color.
with the cuts under his eyes?
Yeah, he's got his own breed now
Yeah, that is crazy.
because his music.
She is a little brown.
Did he have more
changes
than one
dogs.
song?
No.
I saw him play an ASPCA in Tuscaloosa one time, and he left. These dogs were crying. I've never seen dogs cry and laugh at the same time.
Everybody was a little emotional.
I had to open
Even
for
the
him. That was the worst show I've ever done in my life. I was just
Holy
doing
cow.
my a cappella stuff at the time. It was depressing for me, at least.
That's weird. I mean, like, I don't know. You'd think Seal would be pretty good at it. Like, I mean, he's
He
probably
brought it.
friends with that other lady that does the ASPCA stuff.
They've talked
Yeah.
before. I
Yeah.
don't think they're the best of friends.
Hopefully, people watched the last episode where they found out where the ASPCA came from. So
Yeah.
maybe, like, they would consider the performances.
You guys
and
learn
the
yourself
organization.
something.
Yeah, like learn something.
Learn you
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, get yourself schooled is in it. So
Be careful though where you donate your money.
yeah, that's
so
that's
what are the good
thing.
spots to give it to?
The
Because
ASPCA is like the Walmart
yeah.
of dog rescue.
Who's Target? Target's pretty good, but they're not
What?
great. Like, you know?
It's good. That's a little higher class, but they will give
all
your
of the
credit
Humane
card information.
Societies will be Target. You
You
know?
know what? The
The
Humane
Humane
Society?
Societies.
Okay.
So pay cash at the Humane
So
Society.
rescues
guys.
are like boutiques, right? Like they're
The rescues are the small mom and pop shops.
yeah.
Yes.
that are doing the real, like the
They're
on the
doing
floor.
the real deal.
Yeah.
Some of the mom and pop
Ground level.
shops, they can do a lot of the good work. Like a lot of good work. Some of them are like crazy. I wouldn't drop my Rolex off there, that's for sure.
It's just basically a bunch of crazy dog ladies in a station wagon with as many
I've seen
dogs
it.
as you can possibly fit in it.
Yeah.
And do you find most of the times that people are doing it for the good, or do you also find that sometimes people are taking advantage of the system maybe a little bit, or is anything like that going on?
I do think that there is a whole lot of ego involved. I think that people need to be a little more open-minded and work together. Every single rescue hates each other.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So-
Why
It's
would
not like
they
a
hate each other?
partnership.
Is it
No.
like? Is it because of the dogs? Is it like one's a hound rescue and they're like, oh, like hounds, like they're always running around smelling things.
It's like,
I
the, it's like the
huskies.
Orlando, Florida comedy scene.
If you adopt out a lot of dogs,
Who in
then
Orlando knows what I'm talking about?
you're moving them too quick. And if you don't adopt out enough, then you're sitting on them. And everybody's judgmental, and they have their own views.
Yeah.
So,
And we're not condoning sitting on dogs out there. That's for sure. I just we want to put that out there as a disclaimer.
Yeah, that's-
But people do it.
Yeah, it's weird. Like there's a lot that goes on in dog rescue that's not about dog rescue. That's what it seems. And I don't know. There's a lot of things that go on in dog rescue that's important.
Because I mean,
like,
in the end, everybody's in it together, and I mean, I think the collaboration is where a lot of stuff comes out. That's like for the better. So
we've
open
had
up.
we've had people refuse to give us dogs because there's the volunteers that are the liaison.
Liaison.
the liaison.
Liaison.
Bado.
Yeah.
Bado.
Yeah, between the
Bordeaux.
shelter and
How
the
do you say
rescue,
condescending?
and they won't give us dogs the rescue
Yeah.
because we take them to adoption events right away, right off
Yeah.
the transport.
Yeah.
That's
So they would prefer that the dog died versus giving it to us because we take it to an adoption event right away. And they
What's
think
the
it's too
motivation
stressful.
behind it? Oh, for the dogs? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think it's stressful for the dogs to be carted around like that?
I think, in my experience, if you put a dog in a foster home, it sits there for a month or whatever,
Yeah.
and then it goes to an adoption event and goes to
Same
a different
thing.
home, it loves the foster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it has
So-
time to form the
It has-
relationship, and the
Exactly.
bonds.
So it'd actually be more traumatizing, in my opinion.
I think
Yeah,
no
I
matter
think that's a
what
good point.
happens, I don't know. I think no matter what happens to a dog, everything is traumatizing to it. Like, I mean, like good or bad. Like, I mean, like if you,
John, we're
if
not
you're
talking about your dog parenting style here, okay?
If you say, do you want to go for a walk to my dog? She goes nuts. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Don't say that, Bubba's right
Like,
there.
like exactly. There's all kinds of anxiety and whatnot.
Yeah.
That goes. It's like, how long is it going to take before we get there? What are you going to do? Am I going to wear a leash? Like, where are we going? Like, do I get to chase a ball?
Do I get treats?
Yeah, exactly. But then the
Can I
same
smoke
anxiety.
cigarettes?
Yeah, like if you put the dog in the car to go anywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it has anxiety about stuff, so you have to keep bringing the dog home, and then it learns that that's its home.
no, I think the quicker the better. Just because I mean, and then it's staying with one person for longer, so it has time to form a relationship with them, as opposed to being carted around all the time and
I think a
getting
lot of
stressed out. Probably
a lot of stuff that goes on. I think it's about the people, not about the dogs. You know, it's like, oh, I want to do this, so I'm going to act this way, and I've got control over it. And it's like
we're home just watching, Judge Judy People's Court all the time, something like that. You're probably not gonna be too happy of a dog.
Probably.
There's a lot of women in rescue. They'll get a dog and it'll have a behavioral problem. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
It's an adult.
Yeah.
They have unknown
Most
pasts. They were
dogs are-
probably abused, neglected.
Plus, dogs in general
But
have
they
a
don't know how to
foundation.
deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they, they'll take it to the shelter and drop it off, and pretend that they never had it, or they'll do shady things
Like a
where
foster
you could.
that they drop off at the shelter or something? Is that what you're talking about? What?
That'd be
Isn't there
cool if you could
paperwork for
drop
all
the-
that? Like somebody's going to come back and be like, hey, where's that foster dog at?
It depends if the dog was microchipped. There may or may not be a paper trail.
That's crazy. This is like getting into Dick Tracy type stuff.
Yeah, this is like, that is my dog
there
making
we go.
his show appearance.
He is. All right. Bubba.
He is a very nice dog. He hates the.
loud.
He's like a cat, so I train him with a spray bottle.
That's good.
He's going through a little angsty period with a spray bottle
See,
right
but
now.
that's okay. You can do that. Like
Little
that's
teen
a trend. Like most
He's
dogs.
about 13 right now. He's going to get over it.
Yeah.
I got hope for him. He's
Most
going to come
dogs
out
are-
on the other side. We're going to smoke weed together sometime.
Yeah, they're built in a
That's it.
foundation of being like jerks, though. They don't know. Like they just
Yeah.
crawl over everything. They got 4 legs. They can climb on anything. Like so. Like unless you stop them and teach them, they're going to do it. But like then there's abuse. Like that. Like I was just looking up statistics, and apparently it's a felony in all 50 states. Like to abuse a dog, which is good.
That is good.
Yeah. But there's other things that, like, you can abuse a dog. Like,
And until 3 years ago, you could still have slaves in
slaves in
Mississippi, right?
Mississippi, yeah, that's
So
crazy.
you can't beat your dog. But
Yeah. That's insane.
So let's give it up for Mississippi. Shout out to Mississippi.
Yeah, exactly. For
out there.
being good about the dogs, I guess.
Being
I don't know. You could probably still.
innovative, I guess.
Yeah, you could probably. Funny, but
yeah.
How do you all feel about dogs wearing shoes? You put
I
shoes
hate that.
on your dog?
I can't
No,
stand
I mean,
that.
I think my dog would like booties, like in the winter, because he gets cold feet all the time. So I think he might like that. But I think he'd probably hate them too.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty much the same. Because
Like-
they get wet too anyway. So it's like he's going to be cold regardless.
There'd be
right?
equal amount of them licking the stuff out between their feet as there would be trying to chew the shoe off. Like
I think
So-
cats and shoes, like they do on Always Sunny, is like so funny.
little puss in
so
boots.
funny.
Little
Kitten
puss in
mittens.
boots going on.
Kitten mittens is so great. What's your take on dog shoes?
Oh man, such
like, where do I
tough
start?
questions.
But do they have to be
What
I
brand
know.
name?
If you have a dog and it's an Arctic breed, it's
We
going
get
to
to the
have
issues
have
here. Mm-hmm.
fur in between its pads on its paw, and it's going to be
Right.
a little more protected from heat and cold.
Right.
If you have a dog like your dog, which
Mm-hmm.
is an American Bulldog mix, he doesn't have any protection really, and he's going to get cold pretty quick.
Cold
so,
feet.
yeah, shoes are good for those.
Little booties.
Oh yeah.
Little
Shoes.
party
Or if you're
booties.
taking them out, to a park or whatever, you have a lot of asphalt. It's going to be hot on their feet in the summer. gonna
Yeah,
burn
he
their
does
pads.
get hot feet. He got his
was-
pads burned one time when he got out when we were on vacation. One time he got his pads burned. Somebody picked him up.
I was with an old friend
Took
of
him into the
mine.
pound.
We went to the like down at the sand dunes,
Oh, yeah?
and his dog was with us, and we had to keep stopping, and we used all the water out of the Camelback by spray his feet off because he couldn't walk through the sand because it was like 100 degrees and
Yeah.
like, in the burning sun. And being from the East Coast and like seeing people like treat that as the beach was the most awkward thing I've
Yeah,
ever
it's
seen.
terrifying.
Like they were floating like in a foot of water, like at least 85 people peed in that day. Like
Yeah.
it was disgusting.
Was it just a small pond? Or
No, it was the sand dunes. So it was like this like creek, I guess, and that's where it went
Okay.
through like the sand dunes, and it was gross. And,
I was going
and
to say,
poor Atlas, he was rest in peace. That guy he had like
what is the story that you're telling? I feel like I'm on the planet. I don't know what's going on right now.
that's what it was like. It was
I feel like this just
go to
turned
the
into
sand dunes. You should go to the sand dunes.
really
It's
goes
fun.
down
It's
to
like
the
going
sand
to a
dunes.
different planet. Like,
You had me.
have you ever been to the sand dunes? Jennifer's from Colorado. She's actually from Denver, which is like not even common.
John,
like,
I told you we're getting a lot of hits out of Sweden these days. We got to play to our Sweden fans.
And now Scotland. We've got a big,
one.
Yeah, we got a big sponsor out of a dog rescue.
That sex sells, and I've always wanted to get a couple of really hot girls, go downtown and get have them the foster dog on a leash and get some tips.
Tips?
Yep.
Tips for dogs.
Did you say tips on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
What about same idea? Couple of hot dudes sitting right across from you. Maybe you round up a couple numbers for us to be nice, and maybe we go do that.
Yeah.
We could
maybe
try
we
it.
show some skin.
We could try it.
I don't know. What about I'll
I
wear
just think
anything.
the drunk guys downtown would be willing to give the hot girls money for the dogs,
and
then the dogs would have money.
Yeah, but they probably do things like weird. Like if they're bros, they might like throw the dogs and like do all kinds of stuff.
I don't think that would happen.
You don't think so?
You don't think there'd be a lot of dog throwing going on? Is that your one critique to this charity model?
Like,
the throwing of the dog?
If there's pillows involved, I guess it's fine to throw the dog. But like, don't throw
members
it
of the board. I like the idea. I just think the only problem would be all the dog throwing. That's the only thing hurting our business model right here.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I typed this up and put it in Times New Roman.
Yeah. But I don't know, like just to, I don't know, maybe get back on track, possibly. You
took us into the desert, is what you did.
I'm trying to
get us back on track.
I didn't know where we went when we were in the desert either.
We just all felt like we did peyote together.
The poor dog died of cancer.
And we're back.
Yeah. So Judge Judy, big dog rescue advocate. Yeah. I don't know. She's been in the news for a bunch of things. If you Google her,
I got a lot of emails out to her. I can't wait until she hits me back.
Yeah, I was watching a Judge Judy episode one time where a lady rescued a dog from Katrina. Brought it to her house.
Katrina's a lady that lives in the Highlands Ranch, for people that don't know. Yeah. She's a real meanie.
You might not recognize her. She just got gastric bypass surgery. But,
So she goes by Cat now.
She eats really light, and, she kind of looks like a squirrel. So,
continue.
Yes, gastric bypass surgery is not a sponsor of ours.
No, we tried.
Yeah. But, so the case was that the lady thought that she could, I guess, sue the rescue for like her dog getting bit by the rescue dog that she brought in to foster, which is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think you got a case there, especially when you brought the dog in. I mean, you did that on your own, right?
That's what Judge Judy said.
Yeah.
And it was funny because, like, working at a dog rescue, a lot of people come back and they're like, I don't understand what you think is, like, okay about this dog coming in and pooping on my lawn. They're like, really? It's your backyard.
I've told. I know. I tell you this all the time. I know. I say this. I text you every morning. But you're my favorite accent guy in town. Like you do the accents better than anybody right there. It's the poop on the lawn thing. We need to get you doing more of your accents. That's what we need.
It's easier.
I don't want nobody pooping on my lawn.
Yeah.
This episode has primarily been about poop.
About
so I hope that you all feel very, very educated.
And Judge Judy, like,
about the poop.
We were told, and like this is, we're gonna have a special.
People need to know.
We're gonna have a special guest on the show, and we're not gonna say who it is yet because we have to confirm it with his publicist, and his people, and like whatever else.
But there's been a lot of talk out there for the kennel these days.
And and Judge Judy, we meant to say. We know you can sue us, but we'd like you to sponsor us.
Yeah, and we're also going to put one of your videos up online.
Yeah, we're going
to tag it, but it's only out of love. And if you want to sue us, I'm going to take that as pretty much just a retweet. Yeah. So that you suing me is pump. I'll tour on that. I don't care. I'll tour on that. I'll be the Judge Judy summons tour is what it'll be.
Yeah. Well, like all I'm saying is this guest that we're going to possibly have on the show. And you know the talks are pretty big. He would probably get rid of that doily. Like he would that would not fit in his catwalk.
I mean, I think he would. He would if there would ever be. Yeah.
I think he might like the doily.
You think he likes the doily? Really?
I would take the doily. Maybe we get a Comedy Kennel doily. Maybe we get Comedy Kennel custom tailored T-shirts. I don't know yet. We're going to get back to everybody on the other end of this thing.
If Judge Judy wants to get involved, and we could probably get she could probably get us closer to Bob Barker.
Yeah, her publicist said absolutely not, but I think she'll come around. No, yeah.
Like we could have
They just
down the
emailed
law
me back a second ago. I checked it.
Laying down the law.
Yeah.
Laying down the law.
We'll get you. We'll get you one day, Jude.
With a doily. Yeah. So she always has something to wipe up the floor after the dog poops on it. Like, I mean, that's good.
It's crucial.
I don't know.
It's crucial. That's why we appreciate her.
Once with another dog, so you were aware, so was she, of the dog's prior aggressive tendencies. That makes it worse because that makes her more responsible for keeping the dogs in tow, for keeping the dogs well leashed, for keeping the dogs well restrained and under her control, especially since she owned this dog before. Put your hand down. Do I look as if I need your help? That's what I'm telling you.
If she had just been walking down the sidewalk, the dogs never would have jumped out of the car and attacked her.
Madam, I have to tell you, you are so wrong to suggest to me that you do not bear full responsibility for this attack because you were aware of the dog's aggressive tendencies, you allowed her to take control of the dogs. Now, you actually do not have direct control of these animals when they're in her care, but you're their owner. Close your mouth, and I don't want to hear your high voice again. You didn't take care of the dogs, and the dogs hurt her.
The dogs hurt her because she attacked them verbally.
Oh, you're a moron. You're a moron. There is something actually wrong with you. You're a moron.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
there's a lot of animal charges, animal abuse charges, a lot of things you can do. It's crazy. Yeah, in the contracts for the dog rescue, there's a lot of information that you have to read through.
Big words.
That people don't read.
People don't read it.
Yeah.
Jen, have you had people just be
Did you read it the first time?
It?
Do I read the contracts I
Yeah,
signed?
the
No.
fine print.
Guilty.
No.
Guilty.
Not always.
It's a lot.
By the way, guys, I got a couple podcast contracts I need you guys to sign after this, if that's cool. No pressure. Just sign them.
That's cool. Just sign them. Yeah.
And also, you should leave your car keys here too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's in the contract. That you're not going to read.
I had a guy who filled out an application for a Maltese. That is a
Falcon.
highly adoptable dog that people kind of go crazy over.
Yeah.
We don't see too many Malteses in the shelter here in Colorado.
Because people keep them so long.
The guy came in. The dog had been adopted 5 minutes prior to him coming in, and I told him that she was already adopted, and he cried. He was maybe 6'4", about 220 pounds, and he cried.
He cried, really?
And then he yelled at me.
Did he have a can of peanut butter in his hand?
He didn't.
It was cookie dough.
And then he said that he yelled at me and he wanted to know why his application didn't mean anything. He was like, well, sir, your application didn't mean anything because this guy got here and paid before you did.
Yeah,
and that's really the end of the story.
You're kind of rescuing a dog, so it's
Bottom line.
A to B to C.
Do you think that as a person he just puts too much into the fact that, his mood is based too much on having an animal? Would you feel comfortable giving a dog to somebody that puts that much...
They ended up adopting another puppy. His name was Jonah. Jonah was famous in
Jonah
Houston.
Hill. He was huge.
Because,
he had lipstick on his head.
He had lipstick on his head. He was a little tan puppy.
So he got around a little bit. Good for him.
Yeah.
He was a good-looking guy.
So they had him for about, 3 or 4 days and returned him because they said that they couldn't sleep and they were bipolar. So it wasn't going to work.
Do you think they were ever on the same wavelength? Like their poles were matched?
Well, that's what it seems like off the bat to me, that they're coming off a little crazy when you're going to cry because of a dog.
Do you think he cries if they're out of Cool Ranch Doritos?
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, I'm watching the game and jeez.
Because his thing is you're doing that to me. You're doing this on purpose to me.
the main thing that you learn when you go to the best friends conferences is that you can't be picky about your adopters because there's 3 million dogs dying in the shelter.
Yeah.
So on top of being, somewhat picky so that they're not going to crazies, you also have to
Most of them
take
are crazy.
selfies or take pictures. We're gonna be
Most of them are
uploading all
pretty
these
crazy.
guys. We got a lot of hot shots coming up.
Yeah,
We got a lot of zany faces, a lot of eyebrows, a lot of nose twitches,
Like
a lot of mustache stuff coming your way.
There's a
But
lot.
yeah, you also have to not judge people.
Yeah.
Try to.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
I'm not
be in
judging
that
the two
game.
of you. I mean,
That's
look
all I
at your
got.
socks and your shoes. We're
Listen,
taking
John,
pictures of
you know
those.
I got these socks for Christmas, and I don't like to wear them, but I told you it was laundry day, and I'd appreciate it if you'd calm down right now.
They're going right there. Look at those crazy socks.
I've worn these socks every day since the Denver Broncos lost the Super Bowl. So, how big of a fan are you, John?
I feel like there's a lot of domestic violence going on, and like a lot of things. Like Ray Rice just beat his wife.
So you're going from desert to domestic violence.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I think that Peyton Manning created probably more domestic violence.
Because those Papa John's
because of
ads, nobody likes
and the
that
Super Bowl.
pizza. It makes me do things I don't want to do.
I don't know, Terrell Davis used to.
Old TD.
I don't know.
That's what I call him because he scored a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah. I thought it was TB because he had the tuberculosis.
He also had tuberculosis,
Yeah.
but you know what? He didn't let it define him,
No,
which is the
exactly.
crucial part.
Yeah, he coughed through the whole thing.
So follow him on Twitter if you can. Also,
So
Brent Podolzek, as always.
Brent Podolzek, yeah.
Sketchy Entertainment, follow them.
Yeah, they're going places.
They're gone.
There's
The church nightclub on the corner.
Oh yeah, the Funky Buddha. Don't forget that place.
I like the Funky Buddha.
You can go to the church and the Funky Buddha at the same night.
Yeah,
Or you can just go Jubu.
We call that the Lincoln Twofer. That's what
The
I've always
Lincoln
called
Twofer.
it. Uh-huh.
So there's some, like we were talking about animal abuse. So if you really want to know, there's apparently, if you go to like law.du.edu, it's the University of Denver Law School. Apparently they're very
They know
good with
about
their
it.
search engine optimization because they came up at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Because I just Googled.
They're also very
Yeah.
good at kicking you out of their library.
Oh,
So don't try to do that.
Have
Just
they
try to
done
go
that
look
for
for
you?
yourselves. Of course they have.
Oh,
you know,
that's-
I always make a ruckus in
Their
libraries.
copies are cheap. I don't know. Like
They are.
they're good copy
Yeah,
machines.
14 cents now. It went up from
Something
12.
like that. Yeah, I remember 11. But I'm old.
You are old.
Yeah, I did a Throwback Thursday picture.
Young at heart,
Yeah.
old in spirit and body.
Yeah. I did one of those Throwback Thursday pictures on Facebook today.
Yeah.
And Zach Moss, of Whiskey and Cigarettes.
Whiskey and Cigarettes. Shout out to
those
Whiskey and
guys.
Cigarettes.
Shout out to those guys.
We're going to cue their clip
Yeah.
right now. 3, 2, and 1.
Go.
Guys, they wouldn't license it to us. We
Yeah,
tried.
exactly.
Sorry about that, Whiskey
But-
and Cigarettes. We wish. We'll get cash.
Zach's response to my Throwback Thursday picture was, "It's nice to see that all your childhood pictures are in black and white." Thank you, Zach. He's not much younger
Okay,
than
that's
me.
cool. I thought
Maybe
yours were all done on the side of a cave. Inside of one with
we had a chisel just to keep
with
it old school.
old flowers,
From,
ground
like,
up flowers.
Yeah, before that Moses thing. But at law.edu. Or I don't know, like I said a second ago, law.du.edu.
Yeah.
They'll tell you the things about like animal abuse in Denver. Like apparently there's a Senate Bill 1080 that you can't beat your dogs, which is great. So you can go to jail for that. It's a felony.
I want to see who voted down that. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Because there had to be two guys that were they were just for strict lobbying purposes. They had to vote it down.
Yeah, exactly.
It
'Cause
didn't pass unanimously. Is all I'm saying.
if it was like like he had a purpose in his life for it,
Yeah.
like a Treat Williams film where he was attacked by a dog as a child and he had to overcome it, and then he was a senator. I don't know, something. I would think Treat Williams, either that or that other guy.
Yeah.
The one that played the
Or just
Beastmaster.
some ranchers.
Yeah. So we got some dogs coming in. Interesting dogs.
We do.
Yeah,
Coming
we
in
should
hot.
Talk about those dogs. They're
Not overheating, by the way. We didn't mean that. They're being
Yeah,
kept
they're-
at very comfortable
yeah, room
temperatures.
temperature.
They're
Definitely
just
room
excited.
temperature.
You know what I mean? They're excited to be here in the mountain, high altitude air.
yeah, all the transports are air conditioned and or heated.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it
Depending on
snowed and
temperature.
got sunny today.
There we go.
Yeah,
They're
they
taking
would've
care
needed
of them
both.
out there.
Yeah.
I'm
We're in
excited. We have a Chihuahua coming in.
Uh-oh.
and
Chihuahua.
Not another one.
He looks like Salvador Dali.
Denver. So he speaks.
And
He speaks the Queen's Spanish, not just like Spanish that they speak in Mexico.
correct.
Yeah.
So I'm excited because people typically tend to like dogs that look like themselves.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have like a Salvador
Some fun-looking
Dali
guys.
lookalike come in and adopt this dog.
There's gonna be a
There's a
bid war
guy-
out
It's going to be
there.
a good picture.
You ever
That's
see the guy?
hilarious.
He works at the Marquee, I think, like at the pizza.
That looks like
place.
Salvador
He looks
Dali?
like Salvador Dali. You know what I'm
I
talking
haven't
about?
seen him,
You
no.
haven't seen him? Look out for that guy. I think he's
He's
got big
down
gauge
there.
ears.
Maybe we
yeah.
can send him a tweet.
Yeah,
Looks
be
like
like,
Salvador
you
Adopt
Dali
this
with
dog.
caged ears.
come
Yeah.
down and check out your dog.
Your dog.
That dog is like I went to his last exhibit down at where he was down at the Dumb Friends League. He did a little gallery opening. It was great.
Can we all say it? Denver Dumb Friends.
Denver Dumb Friends League.
Yes.
Can you try?
Denver Dumb Friends League.
Did it!
Oh,
3
there
for
we
3.
go.
That's never happened before.
Nice. They're going to endorse us one day.
Oh, I'm
Maybe.
usually so.
I'm waiting for the hate mail to stop from coming back from them in my inbox.
They haven't been returning anything from me, so.
Yeah. We have another dog coming in because I actually found another hound, male hound.
Watch out.
Yeah, number 4 in the Widespread Panic collection.
Number 1 in my heart.
Yeah, we're going for another, like you guys are going to say it's strange again.
People aren't gonna like
rest
it.
in peace, Michael Hauser.
Coming
Yeah,
back.
He's coming back as a hound.
Michael Hounser?
Michael Hauser. Yeah, that's what
Is that
it's
what
gonna
you
be.
said?
No, Hauser.
Okay.
Hauser. Michael Hauser. So it's a dog with the first name Michael. Weird.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird when people are calling for him at the park. But what is he? He's a coonhound. I don't know what kind. Like, not tree walking. Maybe
He's
black
What?
and tan.
He's just a mix.
Mixed coonhound. He's got long ears. He'll probably get him in the water. And his ears will probably
I
smell.
love me some. Yeah, I love hounds.
I love hounds,
I've
too.
always had a fond place in my heart for hounds.
Yeah. So number
Farm
4.
dogs.
Yeah. I've been waiting for the Michael Hauser hound. Like, I've got a thing about, like, I like the Beagle and Basset Hound colorings.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a good looking coloring.
And this is a gigantic dog with gigantic ears. It looks like a bloodhound almost, but with the...
Uh-oh, guys.
Someone's here at the podcast.
As we record this thing live, we just can't. We don't think this is. We do this in a studio type situation. We just do it off the cuff. So what that was somebody being buzzed up because we're actually doing this podcast from 1993 from New York City.
There's no camera on
And
this, actually.
There's no camera. We don't have a picture of that, but we still buzz people up to our apartment
Are
because
there Capitol Hill
we're not
apartments
doing
in
great.
Doorman?
We're not doing great.
Like, does that happen in
The
Denver?
what?
Is anywhere in Denver have a doorman?
I wish it. I'm sure some places do. I'm sure some places where there's a lot of money and stuff like that probably do have that.
Yeah,
but
some of the Spire. You think the Spire probably?
if
has a
I
doorman.
promise you, I'll never live in a place with a doorman. I know I'll never be doing that well.
Yeah, my parents
I've
have
made a lot of poor business decisions today.
Yeah, my parents have a place in New York, and they have a doorman, and there's a huge difference between like, and people will say it, they'll be like, "Does your place have a doorman?" Like,
They'll say that to
yeah,
you?
they'll say it. Like, your place have a doorman.
I mean, that just goes to prove that when people live in New York, they don't realize that there's a world.
Or that the doorman is a guy that came here from Russia last year, hardly speaks the language.
John, can we not talk about
and
Vladimir
maybe
like this?
was
He
convicted
speaks
of
the
something.
language really well. Okay,
He's okay.
Vlad's a good guy.
He's okay.
I know he screwed you one time on that deal, but
I know.
that was kind of your fault. Okay.
I wanted Fritos. He got me Pringles. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't even sound the
You
same.
didn't specify.
Like, they
You
don't
didn't
even sound the
specify.
Like, seriously, like they're not even the same.
They
One's
make
made of
chili
corn.
cheese Pringles. It was an honest mistake. He's
That
new to this
too.
country.
I'm lactose intolerant. I can't eat chili cheese.
I'm last.
Lactose intolerant. It's not. I'm actually lactose indifferent. I'll eat anything with cheese. It
You
doesn't.
heard it first.
Yeah.
John will eat it
Lactose
all.
Indifferent. So I've read something, and like they were talking about the charges, where this lady was an informant in an animal abuse thing, and I think it was like I was reading too fast, and it ended up when I got towards the end, it was about cattle, so it wasn't dogs at all, but. She was in a. She was
Hypothetically, just put the dog in there and we'll
Let's
tell
say
it as that same story.
Exactly.
Just put a dog in there. I'm sure we'll get some morals out of it.
Like some of your biggest dogs look like some of your smallest cows. Like
Yeah.
like that's what happens. So and there's
Pyrenees.
pictures. We can find a picture of someone that made their dog look.
Yeah,
like
that Monsanto's done that. Have you seen that picture yet?
Is it the cow?
No.
No. Where's that?
I'm sure they've done it. I'm sure there's a lab in Missouri somewhere where there's a half dog, half cow.
Half cow.
That's like
That's crazy.
700 pounds.
Speaking of cow, this just reminds me. We were talking about Jilly before. She was like,
Let's give it up for Jilly again.
Yeah,
We'll
Jilly
bring it
again.
back.
She needs to get adopted. She had these puppies, right? These 9 puppies.
Yeah.
So she has these like, and it's just weird. Like they've got their boobs still, like because they were nursing. And you got to
Yeah.
pick them up sometimes because, and it's weird to pick them up. But it
They
reminded,
lactate?
well, like even when they're dried, like they're just flaps now. So it
Just
reminds
saggy flaps, yeah.
You ever go to the car wash and you have to drive through like that? That's what it's like. Like there was.
I didn't do
dogs
that, but I
walking
did.
under.
I did take care of my grandma for a summer, and so I kind of gotta know what you're talking about on that front.
Were her friends there too?
Poor Jilly.
Did you have a swimming
yeah.
pool in her backyard? Like that's yeah.
Everybody makes fun of
It
her.
wasn't full, but by the end of the summer, I filled it with my tears.
You know what we didn't? Did we talk about the song that introed us into this episode?
No, we got a new
Holy
theme song,
cow.
y'all.
Oh man.
Guys, we scraped the cash together. A lot of money went out on this one.
Yeah.
A lot of cash went out the door to get
was-
this song to come in the door.
It was actually the trivia prize winnings of this week that people just didn't claim because
People didn't
nobody
claim
answered the
them.
question.
So we took the $7 million and gave it to
Exactly.
this local Denver band,
Yes, it's a trio.
Comedy Synth Pop Gold,
Yes.
my favorite
They
comedy
are good.
synth pop group that does an open mic on South Broadway on Wednesday nights from 7 to 8. I'll tell you that much right now. I'll say
do
that
that.
right here.
They have a show
I
tonight.
will say that right here.
Every Thursday at the Voodoo.
Every
11 o'clock.
Thursday, 11
Yeah.
o'clock, late night show, fantastic show.
These are all plugs.
Unbelievable people.
We gave them $7 million and we're plugging them for free.
So that just lets you know how strong we feel about them, actually.
Actually, it costs us
Which
$7
is
million
strong.
to plug them.
I would talk for an hour just about this.
Yeah. I mean, their name is Ultra Sex Laser.
Yeah.
They also have a kids band.
Unicorn
They're the-
Star League.
Unicorn Star League. That's. I mean, why wouldn't you?
And they are actually, I don't know, I guess I can say this on the air. I actually stalk them.
Oh, do you?
They are actually, they're all in their house right now writing a new song. And
They have
it's
a
gonna
panda?
they have a panda.
They relate.
They live in Highlands Ranch, so they have
yeah.
a panda.
They do, and they can relate to that. What is it? Board panda. Like
The word panda is that
the board panda.
Oh
Is that what it is?
yeah,
The
board panda.
Yeah.
Go, check that out, USL. Check it out.
Yeah, look, we're
Do it
we're
for
looking.
us.
We're trying to force sponsorship. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah,
that's like,
they're rolling in it now.
Yeah.
Maybe they could sponsor us with part of the $7 million that we just paid them.
yeah. Jen works for somebody. We're not going to talk about who they are, but like we should definitely approach them for a sponsorship. They're very nonprofit, very, very, very Colorado oriented, and they should do stuff. But
Doing
we'll talk
some
about that sometime. What else? How about
Yeah, we're burning through it. What else
Dog?
we got? What else we got to cross off this list before we
should
put
talk
this
about-
comedy back in the kennel?
We should talk about like let's get Jen involved again with stuff that like if you adopt a dog, like that dog is your responsibility. Like
Oh, yeah.
Matt and I touched on that at the beginning. His dog got sick. It cost him
No,
a
we
bunch
put
of
a
money.
contract in between our bodies and
Yes,
touched.
exactly. And they like it's the people that don't understand this. Like there's a lot of them. So
Too many of them.
Yeah, too many. And people take their dogs to the shelter. We have a dog. They got brought back to the shelter. We talked about him, Joey, with
Yeah.
the luxating patellums. He just got his surgery, so the
Yeah.
rescue took care of it. They did
Good.
the right thing.
Good.
And but there's a lot of stuff that people don't understand. So like maybe like just some like 101 tips, and then we'll continue on this like as episodes go on. So and Jen will present things that people should just freaking know. I mean,
Yeah.
like seriously, it's life. Like it's you're not going to return your baby to China if you adopt it there.
Let's not get into that.
Penicillin. It's like last baby that got returned to China, like it didn't turn out well.
No, the shipping and handling on
for
that alone
anybody.
is just way.
Yeah.
It's
terrible.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's cray.
The
Don't
number
do
one
it.
problem we run into is people adopting out a dog and then it getting sick the next day or 2 days later. And they signed a contract saying that we can't guarantee the health or the temperament of the dog.
Yeah.
And the same would go for a human baby.
Exactly.
We don't test the human baby
Yeah.
for everything, so
You
we
can't
couldn't
take a human
possibly know
baby
if
anywhere.
it had.
How can you test a baby for sarcasm? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Some of these babies out there. And I had a 2-year-old ruin my day last week. Just crushed me. Could barely even talk.
Yeah.
That's not, and you can't do anything about it. Like you just don't know. So
So if you're adopting a dog and it gets sick and it's a pre-existing condition,
Yeah.
or if it's something that it got later on, either way, it's your dog legally. You need to take it
Yeah.
to the vet and you need to deal with it.
So is that
It's
pretty
not
much what
the
you tell
adoption
them?
agency's problem
Yeah.
anymore. Obviously, we'll help you if you can't by taking the dog back.
Yeah.
I think
so
almost
it's either
every
pay or don't play.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
What Matt said.
it's.
I mean, that's a terrible way to put it, I feel like.
it is. It's like shit or get off the pot. But I mean, I don't know. It's terrible. Or
But after you've done this for a while, you start to get a thick skin. You start to get a little
Yeah.
grumpy.
I
'Cause
think
you hear the same
absolutely.
complaints
Yeah.
week
And
after
it's like,
week.
I mean, I'm sure, yeah, and this animal is going into all these different environments all the time, and it's like maybe that your house has something different than another environment that he had. Maybe it did get him sick. You know, you never know what they're going into.
Or
How about the
behavior.
people-
Everybody
Behavior.
runs their home differently.
Or potty
So
training.
we could say, yes, the dog is potty trained in the foster's home, and then they get, you get an email the next week saying, you told me this dog was potty trained, and it's not potty trained at all. It's like, well, how do you run your household?
Yeah,
Maybe they-
we go to work for 8 hours a day and leave them inside. And it's like,
Exactly.
well, that's probably not going to work then, right off the top.
And all our carpets are white because we
Yeah.
live in Highlands Ranch. And
Yeah.
we have a panda, and everything's white and black. Yeah, everything. And they got some red mixed in.
Shout out to Highlands Ranch,
Yeah,
who
Highlands Ranch.
very respectfully shot our sponsorship deal down, which is why there might be a little bit of
They
bitterness.
don't,
Yeah, a
they
little
don't like
bit,
pit
yeah.
bulls in Highlands Ranch. So
They don't like
we
Toyotas
don't
either.
like them.
They like
Yeah.
Lexuses. They don't like
Got it.
Toyotas. They don't like Hondas. They like Acuras. And they don't like taste.
They like tomato
Yeah.
bisque with no taste.
Yes. If we have any listeners in Highlands Ranch and they actually like rescue dogs, like we're not trying to insult you, but like feel free to write us or follow us and prove
We
us wrong.
prefer handwritten letters. We
Yeah,
do.
prove
That's
it
kind
wrong.
we always have.
Yeah.
The
for the 4
lipstick
episodes.
kiss,
Lipstick
preferably.
kiss. Yeah. Do something. Put some perfume in it. We have to do our trivia question.
Yeah, we got to do the trivia
Yeah,
question.
we
We're going
didn't
to
do
shut
the
it
trivia
down.
question
I
yet.
think we covered
Yeah.
what we wanted to today.
Yeah,
we
we
got
got
into
a-
some hot issues. We got into the desert. We brought it back from the desert. We got into RIP, and we came back from RIP, and
There's going to be some videos.
we had some
videos,
stuff. A lot of
pictures.
videos.
Yeah.
You got to hear a dog bark. You got
Yep.
to hear a buzz noise.
We got famous dogs coming in.
Yeah.
Like that's
Feel
gonna be
free
fun.
to sample that buzz noise and put it in any song that you want.
Yeah, exactly. That buzz noise.
That's
is
for you
actually
guys
pretty
out
good.
there.
Yeah, and the Ultra Sex Laser. They've got the theme song. We're going to get
USL
on
doing
going
it.
in and out.
Because they're doing
And in
it.
and out.
What are they doing?
And
Writing us a
in
song.
and
We
out.
appreciate it.
They said that they would write your song too. They love writing jingles.
Yeah?
That's what they're like a non-alcoholic, but maybe a little alcoholic version of Charlie from fucking 2.5 Men or whatever. from
We've talked
2.5
about this
Men.
before.
Yeah,
you guys
but not
know I
really.
used to be in the jingle game and I got out because I was forced out.
jingle game.
I'm going to get back in one of these days. I'm going to be back. I'm going to come back hot.
I was in the jingle game for a while because I used to wear bells in my underwear, and apparently that's not right. That's not the
Can't
jingle
do that. That's
game.
how you get in the jingle game, John.
That's not the game.
We talked about
That's
this.
not the game we're in.
We lost a lot of money in that deal.
All right, so the trivia question is not what the jingle game
Trivia
really
question.
is.
Drum
Like,
roll, please.
I feel like it should
Drum
be something about
roll.
Judge Judy. Like what kind of dog does Judge Judy have?
There it is.
Like,
That
answer
is a
it.
trivia
Yeah,
question.
Send us an answer.
What type of dog
Does
Does
Judge
she
Judy
have?
And-
Slash
or
has
how
she
many?
had?
Or how many does she have?
How many?
Yeah.
All
And
the
if she have
above.
cats, we don't care. Like we don't want to know about the cats. Only dogs.
And
Like just dogs. And if you have a hamster, keep it to yourself.
and some, you know what?
Yeah.
Just get wild. Send an answer in. Send anything in off the top. Just come on. Just let those fingers tickle that keyboard a little bit. Just send something in.
I just thought of
Let us know that you care about what we're doing to help you do what you're doing. You know what I'm doing. What are we doing?
I just thought of a clip reel. We're going to cut this out probably, but I was just thinking that this would probably be a great trivia question for the dark side.
We're leaving it in.
Yeah.
Keep going.
How many gerbils does Richard Gere have?
We're cutting this out.
Oh,
we're cutting
this
that out. This
Yeah,
is
exactly.
not family friendly.
Yeah, see? Not
Guys,
family friendly at all.
we want to say thank you so much for listening to another episode of the world famous.
Wait, we should stop.
We got some
there.
plugs?
No. We should stop it there. Now start.
And, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Comedy Kennel.
Comedy Kennel. Yes, this was fun.
We had a blast as always filming this. We want to give a very special thank you to our guest today for coming out and helping us through this wild journey that we all took together.
And she's not really a guest. She should be here all the time, but she works a ridiculous job that we're not mentioning, but should.
We
at
got
some point
co-hosting
get on board.
going on. I think we got a chemistry that we need to share with each other more
Exactly.
often. So maybe, I'm not saying quit your job,
I'm
but
feeling
I'm
the love.
saying
Yeah. Well,
let's make a reasonable time to meet so we can all do this.
I think we should give a shout out because they're not really sponsors, but like Jack Shaved Ice, we mentioned them and they loved it.
They loved it.
I got all kinds of tweets back from them.
So many retweets. We appreciate those. Favorites. I'll take a favorite. We'll
hopefully
take what we
they're
can get.
real. Like they're not like
Oh,
some
they're
Pakistani
not a robot.
like robot company.
I've been there.
Like tracking cell phones and getting burners and whatnot. Also, Dogs and Blankets.
Dogs and Blankets, everybody.
on Twitter,
Do it.
Look at Dogs and Blankets. We post pictures. They're adorable. I mean, what else do I have to do other than look at Dogs and Blankets?
As
It's
always,
crazy.
guys, at the real Wayman, at Fuzzy, kind of funny because it's true.
Fuzzy because it's true. That's
Fuzzy because
Yeah.
it's poo,
Yeah.
everybody.
That's funny because it's true. Spelled funny. So just go to www.thecomedykennel.com.
Comedy Kennel. Wait, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
We'll see you. Thank you.